right, so let's move into our next lab, which is securing a Microsoft Fabric data warehouse. This lab is going to take you a little bit longer, 45 minutes to complete, especially if you're um, unfamiliar with securing a data warehouse in general. So let's get into it. Let's first create our workspace. So I'm going to click on the workspace icon over here and then click on the plus new workspace button. And let's name this workspace DP-600 Lab 9. And we're going to be making sure in the advanced section that we have selected either the trial capacity or the premium capacity or the fabric capacity and select apply. All right, there you go. We have our workspace created. The next step is going to be to create a data warehouse. For that, I'm going to click on the plus new item and I'm going to scroll down to a warehouse and give my warehouse a name, DP600 Lab 9 again. And now we have our data warehouse created. Just going to check on the schemas. Looks like we have our query insights missing. So that will take a little bit more time to get created. And there we go. All right. So let's apply dynamic data masking rules to some columns in a table. For that, we're going to create a table with some SQL query code. There you go. So we're going to create a column with a table with 5 columns, 3 of them having some dynamic data masking. Let's execute this. So we have applied a partial mask to the first name, a default mask to the phone number, and an email mask to the email address. Now, since we are the administrators of this workspace, since we have created this workspace, we can see all of the data even though it is masked. So let's take a look at how somebody who does not have the admin permissions will be able to see this masked data. So for that, let's return back to our workspace. And over here, we're going to give access to another person, specifically Harry Potter, to as a viewer to this workspace. There you go. So we have added Harry as a viewer. And now let's take a look at Harry's Fabric portal. I have Harry um, logged in here. And if I go to workspaces now, you can see Harry has access to the DP600 Lab 9 workspace. Let me zoom in a little bit more. And let's go to the warehouse and let's run a very simple query to um, query the data from the table we created. I'm going to open this and the tables, and I'm just going to new SQL query, select top 100 and execute it. And you can see now that the first name is masked, the phone number is masked, and also the email address is masked. All right, so you can see how here all of the data is masked for a person with the viewer permission, right? Let's go back to our main admin location. All right, so this is how the dynamic data masking works. All right, now if I wanted to grant unmask to this person, then I just need to grant unmask like this, grant unmask on this table to For example, here I could put Harry's email address, and then when Harry tests and runs this query again, they will be able to view all of the data in that table, which should be unmasked this time. All right, let's move to the next task, which is applying row level security. In this case, we are going to copy this code and we're going to add it to a new SQL query. For example, um, I'm going to rename this to Harry. And this is going to be my domain. And this is going to be Hermione, for example. All right. Okay, so we're creating a new table called DBO sales, and we're adding 6 lines of data, 3 lines of data for Harry, and 3 lines of data for Hermione. So let's run this. All right, there you go. You can see that if I query it, because again, I'm an administrator, I should be able to see all of the data. Now, the next step is going to be to apply row level security. Now, for row level security, we're going to create a separate schema because we do not want anybody to be able to go and see the schema. The schema should be restricted only for security personnel or admins. And in this schema, we're going to add a security predicate, which is going to have a pretty standard syntax. And the main thing that you need to keep in mind here is you need to change this column, the sales rep column. The sales rep column in our case is going to be the column which has the email address of the person who's going to be viewing their data. So here the sales rep has Harry or Hermione's email address. So that is going to be equal to a function called username, which actually grabs the username of the person executing that SQL query. Once that is security predicate is created, we then create the security policy where we will add the filter predicate on that table. So let's run this code. Oh, sorry. Let's run it again. There you go. Now it's successfully run. Um, and then let's go to um, Harry's login, and here we're going to create a new SQL query, and let's just select username. Let's see what we get. We get that Harry at cristobalsantos.com, which is the domain, and then we can just also query the sales table. So you can see if we query this table, we only see Harry's information because I am querying this from Harry's account. So we're applying row level security, and so Harry cannot see Hermione's data. So Harry cannot see how much sales Hermione has made in the given same time period. Harry can see only his data. So this is how row level security works. And it's all done by adding only this security predicate and a security policy on that table. All right. Next, let's implement a column level security. So for this, we'll create a table and insert some data. All right, so I am going to create a table called orders with some data. And now what I want to do is I want to deny access to a person, for example, to Harry. All right. On that one column, which is the credit card column, I want them to be able to see order ID and customer ID, but not the credit card. So let's execute that. All right. So let's go and take a look at what Harry will see. Let's refresh this. There you go. And let's execute this um, select um, select on top of the orders table, and you can see we get a error. The set permission was denied on the column credit card of this object orders database DP-600 lab 9 schema DBO. But if we take out this one column and run it again now it works fine because we are not trying to query that one column which we do not have permissions to query. All right. So that is how you can implement column level security. Now your SQL granular permissions work kind of the same way as your column level permissions. In this case, we will test it out with a stored procedure. So let's create a new query here. And let's copy the stored procedure, for example. And let's run the stored procedure. Okay, so we have printed hello world and we have created a table and we have inserted some data into that table. All right, and we have also executed that uh, stored procedure and we have selected uh, run the select query on that table we have created. All right, next we're going to deny select on this table to Harry again. And let's do the same here as well. And let's run this. Okay. And let's test this out in Harry's environment. So let's open up a new query. And let's try to execute this. And it says the select permission action was denied on parts, but the print message is okay. So it is printing hello world, so that is fine, but the select star from DBO parts is denied. Why is that? Because we denied access to Harry on DBO parts, but granted access to execute our stored procedure. All right. And with that, we have come to the end of this lab. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.